Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Yo, y'all listen up. I got something to say. I'm going to speak the truth to you, but some of y'all, you took a shortcut, a convenience this summer. You was like, coach ain't here. The season's weeks away. I got time. Are you kidding me? As a college athlete, you got 4, maybe 5 years to be great or be forgotten. So while you home taking it easy, somebody else is out there in the heat just about killing itself to make their name great. But you got time. Insane. Yeah. My heart is purple and gold. I'm a pirate down to my soul, and I don't back down, not at all. Find out when the cannons explode. From the sidelines down to the post, put it down like not even close. All out to the last whistle blow. From the flag of the soul and crossbones. Everybody stand up, get your hands up. Let a team know that we got they back. This is our house, this is our town, our time.
Thank y'all for joining us here for the Midweek Breakdown presented by the Athletes Table Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Kraft. Alongside me is the Lebanese Stallion and Mr. AC, Aaron Cooper. What's going on, y'all?
What's good, bro?
Man, ECU, I can't sit there and watch it. I don't know how you're doing it right now, Nick.
Well, they're moving the ball. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean,
It's not
14-10. They put Alex Flynn back in instead of Mason Garcia. So.
Yeah, because Mason went a whole half and didn't throw 100 yards.
Oh no shit!
That's horrible, dude.
I know.
But no,
they did lose their big play running back Bond in the first play of the game, which was the kickoff.
Oh yeah, I did see
so
that.
That's a big hurt right there for the running game.
Yeah, but I mean, they should be able to do everything else, but they're
no,
not.
absolutely.
I'm sorry, I can't give them any more hall passes, man. They're just
not at 1-4 anymore.
No, we can't do that. But Thank y'all for joining us here for another episode of the Midweek Breakdown, Week 7, boys. We gotta get into it. We want to thank our special guest for coming in, and he's going to give us a little bit of an analysis, make picks, and see if he can get up on that leaderboard that we got going on our Instagram page. Jordan France, what's going on, my G?
What's up? Thank y'all for having me again.
Yeah,
How was it being on the Athletes Table, man? Being a spotlight athlete this week.
It was fun. Just speak about the stuff that happened in my life and that stuff. Telling y'all about platform stuff. Like it was cool.
Oh yeah. Hopefully, when you guys make it to conference finals this year, we'll be able to swing by and catch the game and stuff like that. So we'll have a little bit of a live thing going out there, maybe.
Yeah.
But this is going to be the first week we have actually had the guest picker do 3 games as an analysis instead of just like 1 or 2. So, we're going off, starting out, we're testing it out, seeing how it's going to go.
Better bring it, man.
Yeah. So, I'm going to go ahead and bring it in with some interesting topics. I know we were talking a little bit before the show that we have 9 teams in the top 10 that are still undefeated, right? Mm-hmm. We have 2 teams outside, both in the ACC, Louisville and North Carolina, that are undefeated, but they're just outside the top 10, while you have Texas, who lost to Oklahoma but beat Bama as the number 9, and they're 5-1. What's y'all's take on that? Do you guys think those 2 that are undefeated should be like in the top 10 or like 11 and 10, or what are you guys thinking?
So the problem is, I would say they don't deserve it just because Louisville hasn't played many good opponents. They played one.
Yeah.
I mean, they played Notre Dame and they beat the hell out of Notre Dame, and they played really good defense. But North Carolina, again, hasn't played any good teams either.
Well, this weekend we're actually going to be talking about one of the games here soon that North Carolina will be playing against Miami. And then Louisville, if I'm not mistaken, Louisville is playing what is it? Oh, no, they are playing at Pitt. And Pitt's one of those teams that usually have like one big upset a season, just like Boston College does.
Yeah, but Pitt's 1-4. They're another 1-4 team. They're not.
No, exactly.
So I don't think Pitt even stands a chance against this Louisville team.
I don't see Pitt being there.
I agree with Aaron on this. Those couple of teams, UNC, Louisville, they don't deserve it. They haven't played anybody. And not saying that they're a bad team. I'm not saying that.
They just haven't been tested yet.
They're not proven yet.
Yes.
Wait for them to start playing some real opponents in the latter half, and both of them do. Both of them are going to the end of the season. They both have a tougher road, so we'll really get to see what those teams are made of.
Louisville started last week. UNC starts this week, so we'll see how that starts to go.
So, like for me, Texas being at 9 right now, behind Oregon and Washington, I do agree with that. They have had a much tougher schedule. The team is proven to be good. We had them as picks going into the playoffs for a reason. The team is good. It just so happens they ran into an Oklahoma team with a full head of steam, and Dylan Gabriel decided to ball out. That's really what you saw.
So then, do you think that Oklahoma should be in the top 4? Since you guys are saying that Texas is well deserving of being in the top 10, and Jordan, feel free to chime in.
Their defense is really bad. Like Oklahoma defense is really bad. I mean, sure they played well against Texas, but I mean Texas didn't look itself. What also, I want y'all's take on this. We can talk about it later, but Texas has a very abysmal schedule after this Oklahoma loss. They
played nobody the rest of the season.
Yeah. So if they don't blow them out, they aren't even making it into the top 5 in my opinion.
And another thing to go along with that, I really think that Washington should be ranked higher than what they are. Penn State, I'm not a big Big Ten guy. They haven't really played a whole lot of people to me.
This weekend next weekend is the big test for Penn State.
Right. But to me, Penn State's not a 10th top 10 ranked team to me personally. I don't see it. I definitely don't see Penn State above Washington and Oregon. That's for sure.
Not at the moment.
I see them above USC at 10.
Yeah.
USC, I think, is kind of overrated to an extent.
Yeah.
But
we kind of saw that with Colorado last week, coming back on them and kind of playing that.
USC. They played Arizona last week.
No, I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we saw that with Colorado.
USC also almost lost to Arizona. They had to go through 3 overtimes to beat them 43-41.
Now, did you guys see that Arizona in that game? They played 5 deep the whole time.
Right, because it made them run the ball.
Exactly.
You start to realize that, and you also see USC, their defense is still not there. Typical Pac-12. That's why the Pac-12 is going nowhere, because they couldn't defend their own conference. So I don't Oklahoma at 5. I can kind of see it, kind of not to an extent. I can't see Penn State still being at 6. And I can't see Washington staying at 7 and not being in that top 5. I think Washington deserves to be in the top 5 with how they've been playing. Oregon, Oregon, I believe, is a top 10 ranked team. I don't know about top 5, but the way that they've been playing so far, they've been very consistent. Them being around 7 to 8, I can see that. Penn State, no. So Oklahoma, Washington, yes, they need to be up.
Let me ask you guys this. We did see with Washington last week, they got stopped, and we found out that when they run more plays every stretch that they're on the field, they end up getting turnovers, they end up holding, they end up hurting themselves in the long run. They're a team that needs to, 5-6 plays and then they're moving out, score the touchdown. Yeah, so that's just a little thing on that. But what I wanted to ask, and Jordan, I'm going to kind of go with you on this one to start out. We're talking about Notre Dame, LSU. Both are 2 teams in the number 21, I believe, and 20. If I'm not mistaken, I'm sorry, 21 and 22. Both are 2-loss teams. Do you think that they should be staying in the top 25 since we have so many 1-loss teams and no-loss teams left in the left out there? I mean, we're missing a Liberty team who hasn't really played a whole lot yet, but it's their first year of conference ball, who is undefeated still. They won again last night against Jacksonville State, and most of their games have been blowouts except for one, I think, 1 or 2. And they're one of the first 5 teams, 6 teams to be bowl eligible. Do you think that those 2 teams, Notre Dame, LSU, deserve to be in the top 25 after 2 losses and not having like one of those mid-major schools that is still undefeated, who's already bowl eligible, not in the top 25?
I definitely think once you get to like 2 losses, especially like the losses they taken, I feel like you shouldn't be in the top 25, especially with the amount of 1 loss and undefeated teams you still have. And then I definitely feel like, I mean, just to give them a chance, like a team like Liberty, like you said, like bowl eligible already.
Yeah,
I feel like they should be in there. I feel like when they if they get losses, then they out the top 20.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, you know what's funny is if you go to CBS Sports and look at their top 20, their AP top 25 right now, and you look at the voters to see who's make or miss right on that bubble right there, Liberty's not even in that. You see Missouri, Wyoming, Wisconsin, Air Force, Tulane, and West Virginia and Clemson.
Yeah.
James Madison.
Yeah. No, I'm not even using – I'm just using Liberty because I know their record. I've been keeping up with them a little bit more. But, like, teams like that who are mid-majors or, like, not expected to have done as well this season. Like, West Virginia is 4-1. They're playing tonight against Houston. They have a shot at being 5-1. They're not even ranked. They're an underrated team this year. Like somebody like that. It doesn't have to be necessarily Liberty, just people like that are kind of like, all right, they're flying under the radar. They're still undefeated or one-loss team type deal over these 2-loss teams who have lost some big-time games this year already.
I think you got to give Notre Dame one more week. I think if this week they come in and they really look like the team that we've saw. I know, but if they come in and really show what they've shown the last 2 weeks, yeah, take them out of the top 25. Like you're done until you start proving it again. LSU, I kind of stand by LSU. I know Aaron's going to be a little bit against me on this, but
wait though for you to finish.
Yeah, I know you're gonna rip me a new one. It's all right. Even though LSU does have 2 losses so far, their defense is suspect, which scares me. And you can make a strong argument for them not being in there because a lot of these top 25 teams, they have defenses. That's like the common denominator out of all of them is majority of these teams have a good defense, and their offense is either subpar to above average. Yeah. That's what we're really seeing outside of like the Washington, the Oregon, the USC, people like that. They've just done good enough on defense to beat what's on their top half of their schedule.
Yeah.
That's the problem with me keeping Notre Dame and LSU in here. Notre Dame's defense has been pretty decent. Their offense has been here and there, spotty.
Their offense LSU's super strong, and then
LSU's defense sucks.
Yeah,
for LSU standards, they suck.
Look at game 1 when they lost the way they lost.
Yeah, it's the reason why they're still around is because of Jaden Daniels.
Absolutely,
he's absolutely balling out. I mean, you can be the biggest LSU hater in the world, and I'm not a giant fan of LSU myself, but you got to give the credit to the man. Like he's balling out this year.
Now, okay, we're gonna talk about this game in a little bit, but it's just a quick question. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, and I didn't mean to cut you off.
LSU is going to lose a lot more games. They only have 2 more tune-up games in Georgia State and Army. That's it. They're going to play Bama, Florida, A&M, and Auburn. They're probably going to lose to Auburn. I hope they're going to lose to Alabama, but I don't know what Alabama team's going to show up.
Is that in Auburn?
No, it's this weekend in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason that I'm kind of like,
SEC and Auburn goes together because Auburn likes to play hard in SEC football, no matter what the hell's going on. And then Notre Dame sucks. They are going to fall off a cliff like they do every year. Notre Dame always starts high and finishes like in the 3rd quarter of the damn season, and then they suck, or they do what they're doing now. We're like, all right, we're good. All right, let's jump the cliff. Like I said, every other time they jump off the cliff without a care in the world.
It's like all the wind in their sails have been taken out. Like there's no motivation.
Every year, Notre Dame just isn't consistent. They like to lose games. It's just the only thing they're good at. LSU honestly likes to lose games too. Surprised they didn't lose to Missouri. It was close. It was a very close game. It shouldn't have been, but they almost lost. That's pretty sad.
Now I know, Dylan, you're gonna be talking about this game in a little bit, Kansas and Oklahoma State, but this is just something I kind of want to bring up because Kansas is the number 23 team in the country.
Their quarterback still is not.
Jalen Daniels out for, I think it's either the second or third week with a back injury.
And nah, he's doubtful.
Doubtful. So
means he's out. That's what that means.
Do you think he's going to be playing, or do you think he's out?
No,
he's out.
Yeah,
they're preparing for a bowl game. They're going to keep him ready to go to a bowl game. They're not going to play him.
I mean, they're already 5-1. All they need is one more game.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
they'll get into a decent bowl game.
Yeah.
So
now I do want to ask you guys this. This is something that's kind of I've been thinking about, and I've been looking on ESPN, CBS, and all these other places. Okay, we got Clemson, who's having probably a big down season for their standards.
Jordan, typical Clemson schedule.
Jordan, do you think that they should still be hanging around that 26, 27, 28, just outside the top 25 spot? Because they are right now by the coaches poll, they're ranked 16, 17 places outside the top 25.
I don't think they should be because, I mean, it's like Clemson. I feel like they should be, like, especially for the past years, we know them as like a top team.
Mm.
Like, I feel like it's like Alabama. They just this year they haven't been a down year.
Mm-hmm.
So if they go on the trend that they're on, then I feel like come close to the top 25.
Yeah,
just based on like the trend that they've been on. They like win, like I guess like they win out, then maybe. But I don't personally see that happening.
Yeah,
they're scraping by every single week.
Exactly.
Like,
I just wanted to know how you guys kind of took that.
He doesn't like to start the running back either. He's like, we got this great running back. Let's give the ball to the guy that fumbled 3 times at Duke because he might have a good game, right? It's a possibility. No, it's not.
Well, you saw Will Shipley won in the game last week. They're the only reason they stayed in that game, and they're still not giving the cat the ball. I don't understand. Christian McCaffrey did that month. Like, give him the ball.
I mean, he literally is the next version of Christian McCaffrey in the college realm right now. Plays the very same style. But we're going to hit up the most important segment, second most important segment of the show. We're going to start dropping some dimes on these games that we're going to be talking about. We're going to go ahead and start it off with Aaron and Texas A&M versus number 19 Tennessee.
I think A&M wins. And I don't know. I can't really give you because we're not doing scores yet. But A&M,
don't do that.
I know, but I already have a number in my head.
Just hold on to it.
Win because they played Alabama really good. A&M has a really good defense, and I think they played pretty good offense last week. They played very, very well. Mm-hmm. I think they're definitely going to come out strong, and they're probably going to score quick. Just because A&M is just A&M. Sure, they've had they've blown out some opponents here. They played good against opponents there. They haven't played good against opponents here, but they have a really good defense, and A&M is known for having a good defense.
Yeah.
Their offense is very susceptible. I'm not sure what you're going to get, right? But I mean, they have a pretty good defensive ball-minded team, so I think they are definitely going to give them a run for the money. It's going to be a very, very fun. I don't know if it's going to be like a big scoring game, but it's definitely going to be a brawl game. It's going to be fun to watch.
And especially with it being in Tennessee, so that'll definitely change it up with Knoxville on the door. We're going to go to Dylan with the number 23 Kansas Jayhawks with some of the sickest black unis I've seen in a long time.
Dude, they're so dope.
I really
love it.
Black helmets, black jersey, black pants. Dude, it goes so well together. Versus the man, the myth, the legend, the mullet, my man, Oklahoma State's. What do you got?
So ESPN's got to be in a pretty close game. With Kansas came off of a pretty convincing win against UCF last week. They were able to do whatever they wanted against them. UCF didn't really stand a chance
without starting quarterback.
Right, and that's going to be the big question this week is them bringing in, I believe his last name is Bean. He's able –
Bean. My boy Bean, get in there, boy.
Oh, Bean.
It's David Bean reincarnated, Aaron.
He can control the offense enough to get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Let them run the ball. Their defense is so. It's not great by any means, but they do get the job done enough to be able to stop opponents. The real thing is their offense going to be able to show up with Jalen still being on the sideline,
especially in Stillwater. Not an easy
place. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not even going. They're going to be on the road. It's a really big test for them. So Oklahoma State's not great. So far this year, they're 3-2. Offense is so. They're giving up more points than they are scoring. So that's never good going to an opponent like this.
Yeah.
So the real question is, how is Kansas offense going to be still without Daniels?
Yep. It's a good question. That's a very good question. So we're going to go now to Jordan, his first of 3, which we're going big this time. Mm-hmm. We're going to start out with 18 UCLA versus number 15 Oregon State. What do you got on this one?
So this one, I think, I definitely think UCLA is going to win, just based on just the game that they've been playing as a team. I know last week I tuned in. I didn't watch the full game, but I tuned in. I just like how they looked. And I don't know. I just feel like they're going to win. I don't really have a lot of numbers for them, but they're definitely UCLA is favored to win. So I think UCLA is going to get that one.
Yeah.
And UCLA is coming off of a big win against Washington State last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this one's back in Oregon, so it's going to be, that top northern, not that LA weather for sure. And it's DJ Uiagalelei. I just call him ukulele at this point, man. But Aaron, we're going to go back to you with the Auburn versus number 22 LSU. Yeah, so what do you got on this one?
Talking about before, Auburn likes to play SEC football. Auburn likes to upset people. I mean, when Bo Nix was there, when he was there, they played well. I mean, Auburn will do whatever the hell they want to try or need to do to win. Doesn't matter if they put in 3 quarterbacks, which they've done before. They put in 3 different quarterbacks, and they have success with all 3 of them. Auburn doesn't care. They are going to try to win no matter what. I think Auburn's going to play LSU hard. LSU just has not looked like a complete team. Offensively, sure, but how many more hits can Daniels take? He is getting killed every other week.
Yeah.
I'm going to run the ball to the side. Whack! Can't run it now, can I? It's catching up. His body is definitely probably not happy with him.
Yeah.
I mean, will he survive the season? I hope he would, for his health. Don't want anybody to get hurt, but I don't think he will if he keeps doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
I think.
So I do want to ask this because we were talking about LSU in the top 25. Who do you think is going to win that one? That one's in Baton Rouge. Who do you think is going to win that?
It's going to be Auburn, dude. I don't like LSU.
Do you think it's going to be a big blowout game, or do you think it's going to be kind of close?
I think it's going to be close. It's going to be a close game because, I mean, you kind of don't know what you're going to get with Auburn. But if Auburn wants to play, Auburn's going to play and beat the hell out of them in a close game.
Exactly. So we're going to keep it in the same conference, but we're going to throw it just a little bit more north. We're talking about Missouri at number 24, Kentucky. Missouri with a very close loss to LSU last week. Kentucky with a major blowout loss to Georgia. Both teams coming off a loss. Both teams have been playing pretty well this season. Both had a couple of close games, but great games for some and bad games for others. Dylan, what do you got on this one?
So Brady Cook has been one of the surprises this season for not only Missouri, but all of college football. He's played tremendously well. 13 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions so far. Last week they did have the loss to LSU. It was a shootout though. And I'm not 100% bought on Kentucky with the way they are right now. Devin Leary looks like crap. I think NC State, we were at the game this past weekend. I think they're not missing him one bit because he still looks as trashy there as he did at State. So, Kentucky also, they ran into a good Georgia team. I know we were talking about how whether
That's the crazy part.
Say what?
Georgia showed up.
Yeah.
They rode up to a Georgia team. Like, we're going to play some football for once. Also, real quick, sorry to interrupt you, but the tight end for Georgia, he should be the damn Heisman.
Brock Bowers? Yeah.
Offense. Like, hey, guys, let's run the ball. Give it to the tight end. Oh, he got 12 yards. Fuck it. Throw it to him now. Look, 20 yards.
And it's funny that you said that because ESPN has actually started to put votes in for him. I think he's like 4th or 5th in the running right now for the Heisman. He 100%. And I said that at the very beginning of the season with how they are using him. They are using him as an extension of that backfield.
Well, the whole thing was we didn't know how he was going to be used until game 1, game 2, because not you, just us in general. Nobody knew exactly what to expect, especially when you've had a quarterback there for 7 years, 6 years.
Well, you had.
You know what I mean? So, and now you're with a new guy. So you're kind of like, okay, is he going to be that extra blocker? Is he going to be that extra backfield player? Or is he going to kind of be like a mix of the blocker, backfield, wide receiver?
No, he's not going to be a blocker because he's going to go to the NFL and turn into a receiver.
No, exactly.
He's going to turn into the next Kyle. He's going to be a white Kyle Pitts. Like they're going to put him in the slot.
Kyle Pitts Jr.
But they also have to use him that way because they are so down on their depth chart on the running game.
Mm-hmm.
They have to find another way to get the guys outside of the tackle box, and that's their way of doing it. I think how they're doing it is so freaking smart. But yeah, they showed up at Kentucky last week and they balled out, and they showed Kentucky, "Hey, I am your daddy. You need to sit down and listen to me." That's exactly what they did to him.
His daddy right now, so.
So this game right here, I'm not going to make a prediction, but
you go ahead and shoot who you think is going to win that game at least.
I see Missouri. I don't even see it as a close contest.
Okay.
Kentucky may be ranked 24th in the country right now. They don't deserve it. They are not that good.
I think
Kentucky's a dog with its tail between its legs, dude, after Georgia lost. It's like, dude, we'll play Georgia close.
And I also want to bring this up, too. I don't know if y'all saw what Mark Stoops said at the end of the game last week about recruiting. How like Kirby Smart, all of them are buying their players because of NIL and all that. And they're like, Mark Stoops was like, maybe we need to tell our boosters they need to donate some more money so we can recruit players. How about you just be a better program?
Well, that's the thing. Nick Saban talked about that same thing, too.
Yeah.
He talked about it. He goes, a lot of players going to other schools, they come to Alabama and then they go to other schools and stuff, and they're getting $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 just to tour the school.
They've been doing that since college football got started.
No, I'm not saying no, but they're now people are coming out about it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, but we're gonna go ahead.
It's just legal now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what he was talking about. So now we're going to shoot it down. We're going to keep it in a top 25 matchup. We got number 25 Miami versus number 12 UNC in Chapel Hill in Kenan Memorial Stadium. Jordan, what you got on this one? Do not give us who you think is going to win, but give us some detail on this one.
All right. Both teams are definitely ranked. I feel like, especially since Miami, the loss that they had the last game or how they lost, I feel like definitely going to come into the game looking to try to avenge that loss, especially the coaches, because that's unacceptable, really. I feel like, and
that's his second time doing the same thing. He did it when he was at Oregon, and he ran the same play. Running back fumbled the ball in the last play that they had to, So that's 2 times now, 2 different schools.
That was crazy. I seen that, and then Drake May, he's been spectacular this year. He's like 72% of his passes, and he has 1,600 yards. And Tar Heels are 9th in total offense. So there's got to. Their defense is. It's not terrible, but it's not like.
It's not top 25 caliber yet.
Yeah, so I feel like this game might be a shootout, or at least like high number.
Yeah. And it helps that now that they have Tez Walker. So he got started. He missed a few passes. It's just trying to get back on his feet game time after missing 5 weeks. So we'll definitely see how that one goes. But we're going to keep it in the North Carolina area. We're going to shoot it 8 miles down the road to NC State versus Duke. We're only doing this one because we got a few people going to this game. State, what can you say? I think they got lucky last week. I think some referees helped out a little bit there. I think
spoken like a true Tar Heel.
No. I mean,
no one likes State. Like I told that guy who sat in front of us, he wouldn't shut up.
Oh,
no
I know.
one likes State, dude. It's gonna be Duke. Duke's got such a good D.
Exactly.
It's unreal.
And like
I
NC State,
totally agree.
How do you go as a starting quarterback and stay in the game even if you are a true freshman or sophomore? 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and not have the backup come in. And then when you have Armstrong coming in, the whole crowd is booing him, and he's only in there for one play.
Okay, I want to ask y'all about this.
Dude,
What
pisses
was
me
your
off with that.
opinion? I'm about to say, what was your opinion on that? Because to me, my opinion on this, Brendan Armstrong, like he's made some enemies in Raleigh, and very well. Like I totally
Not
understand
just in
why.
Raleigh, all over the state of North Carolina.
Well, I know, and like I totally understand why people are not very excited whenever he even shows up in the building. But like in that certain instance, he came in a really bad situation with a shitty play call.
Exactly.
I can't even be nice about
crappy play calls.
The play call was awful
Yeah.
and put him in a really bad situation. He had nothing else that he can do, and then the whole crowd is absolutely going berserk on this kid. It wasn't his fault. He did everything he could, and in that instance, I thought that made Raleigh look really, really bad.
Well, that's the thing. NC State fans are like that in general. So be careful with your girlfriend.
Check yourself.
Not throwing any shade at her. Just state fans are state fans. I grew up with them. Aaron's grown up with them. I'm sure Jordan grew up with them being in the Cary area. I mean, that's one thing about State. I mean, they got, if you really think about it, State really should have lost that game, especially after having a quarterback who threw 3 interceptions. They did make some plays on defense. Their defense does look pretty strong. It's that offensive side of the ball you're still questioning.
It's the secondary. The secondary is what's the very scary
that
part about it.
Front 6 are really good.
Yeah, they are. That's a strong point in their team.
Yeah.
Their run defense is very solid. It's whenever they go into play, which Marshall's quarterback looked very good as well. Being a southpaw, southpaws they don't really look all that great. He looked pretty good.
Now let's put you this way: Marshall's quarterback in that game was a redshirted sophomore, right? Their backup quarterback, who is Chad Pennington's son, is a redshirted freshman.
So they're set for the next couple of years.
So that Marshall team is going to be solid. Okay. I know we're not talking about Marshall, but that's just something
but that's a good point. I actually didn't know that. He looked good. Like that offense, they have potential.
Yep.
But they got to quit dropping the ball.
Yeah, that was the big thing. They have a couple wide receivers coming in that are going to be pretty good. But then you got the Duke side of the team who Riley Leonard's out, backup QB coming in. He has eight passes, 8 for 8 for 10 plus yards each pass. That's 100%, past the line or past the first down marker every time, right? We don't have a huge survey of him. He's only a sophomore, I believe. But to me and Aaron, when we were at the Clemson Duke game, he looks like
boy can throw a ball pretty damn nice.
He looks like the 2015 Cam Newton.
Well, there's a difference in throwing a ball on the sideline and throwing.
No. This was him throwing it in the game.
Well, we'll see.
So
we'll see. I'm not going against it. Like I'm not, because I like this Duke program. I like Elko. I like everything that they're doing. I'm just not sold until I see it on the field.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is, how do you respond with Riley Leonard out and you not playing a game last week?
And he's going to be out for another couple of weeks, if I remember right.
Yep. And so it's going to be questionable. We're going to really see what this Duke team is made of. Can they hold? Can they do whatever? And then
Duke doesn't have an easy schedule to finish out, if I remember correctly.
No, they have UNC coming up in a couple of weeks. They have, I believe, Miami coming up in.
I think they play Florida State too.
Florida State comes in like 2 weeks, I believe.
It's State, Florida State, Louisville, Wake Forest, UNC, Virginia, Pitt. So.
Okay, it was Virginia, not Miami this year. Okay,
that's so.
Yeah,
they got a couple of big games, couple of easy games. Like,
yep.
Okay,
I don't know who's going to win this game because you really are starting out with like 2 legit teams that quarterback play was last week for one, and the other one has come off a bye week. So I don't really know what you're going to get quarterback wise, but defensive wise, I know it's going to be a defensive heavy game.
I also want to say too, MJ didn't look bad in my eyes.
Poor throws, not bad decision making.
Yes, and part of it I believe is play calling. Part of it was him, and I'm not afraid to put
especially as your first game as a starter too.
Yeah, and like you definitely saw in their scoring drives.
Mm-hmm. He looked good.
When obviously he looked good because to me the play calling set him up to be able to run that offense efficiently.
Exactly.
But a lot of that I think has to do with play calling. Their first quarter looked horrible.
Yeah.
They looked bad in the first quarter.
Yep.
It just seemed like they couldn't get anything figured out. They were trying a couple of different things, seeing if they could run the ball here, try to go up the middle, then they went outside. Let's try to throw the ball, but now you already brought everybody in, so you can't run short routes, which you usually have to start short, work short to medium, then work long.
Yeah,
they didn't do that. They didn't
they
do
went
the
straight to a long
right.
ball if they could.
Yeah, and it just you saw it didn't work. And that first interception wasn't his fault. If you went back and
I don't
looked
remember
at
if it was that one or the second one, was it his
no,
fault?
it was the first one because the first one was it was a slant coming up. It was a slant coming up the middle and he tipped it. Yeah. That wasn't his fault. Receivers, if at the minimum the receivers got to knock it down, he cannot get it pop it back up. The other two, 100% him. I will get that's MJ's fault.
Yeah,
bad throws.
Absolutely.
But to me, MJ didn't look bad. Obviously, he didn't look bad. He threw for 300.
I mean, he didn't look great, but he didn't look bad. He looked like he could get the job done. But he wasn't like
if you score 48 points, you should win a ball game.
Absolutely. But against a Power 5, I mean, against a Group of 5 school, you should be blowing that team out, especially one that's in Conference USA or
so that's
Conference USA.
Yeah, so it's not the offense; it's the defense.
Yeah, and they played now. Now Marshall is in the Sun Belt Conference with App State, so that's the new conference for them.
Yeah, that was just my argument with all that. Yeah. I wanted to get y'all's take since we were there and everything. I wanted to see what y'all thought about State.
We're going to keep it with you, Dylan. We're going to number 8 Oregon versus number 7 Washington. This is a big game tomorrow. It's going to be the first time this year that we see a top 10 matchup in the Pac-12 during the day on the East Coast.
And it's so big. Game day is going to be there. They ain't been to Seattle in a long time, so and it's going to be cold. So that's going to be another thing that you got to think about going to this ball game. You got 2 high-powered offenses that love to throw the big skin around, but Washington don't have a running game. Period. They cannot run the ball. They're not good. Oregon can. That's going to be the big difference going into this game. Oregon's got a much better defense in my mind compared to Washington. I'm not making predictions here, but Washington.
Yeah, don't make one because we're going to actually. This is one of the games we're choosing.
I know. But Washington, they actually struggle guarding the pass, which is going to be very big going in this game, especially people that are putting money down for this. Remember, Washington doesn't guard the pass very well. Mm-hmm. Oregon can pass and run the ball, regardless of whether you like Bo Nix or not. I mean, he's been he's been playing well. I have to give it to him. I'm not a big fan of him myself, but he's been playing well. Every single game, they're scoring 40+ points a game. And most of them are going to be through the air. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it's going to be as close as everybody's thinking. I think it's going to be a shootout, just like we've been seeing with Pac-12 offenses. But question is here, who's going to have the better defense?
Yeah. Who's going to make those extra couple of stops?
Who's going to get an interception in clutch time?
Exactly.
This is also both teams' biggest game.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado wasn't really a challenge for Oregon. Let's be honest.
They might have USC. One of them, I think, plays USC coming up, but that's not as big of a
game. But this is the highest ranked game they have. It's gonna be whoever wins this is gonna be the one that stays the longest. I don't think the other team, whoever loses, is not gonna really be able to recover.
Yeah. So another thing too, going this game, let's say it's a close game, ends up being a close, high scoring game, and all that. The loser of this, do you think they drop out of the top 10?
Yes.
Say that one more time.
The loser of this game, let's say it's close. Let's say it's not a shootout, like it's not a blowout. Yeah, say it's a 7-point or less. Okay. It's a high scoring game. So be it. Both teams look really good. Do you think either one of these teams deserved to be knocked out of the top 10?
I don't think they don't deserve it, but they're probably definitely going to get knocked out.
I agree with that.
The committee is just so damn inconsistent this year.
I was going to say, I think if it's Oregon will stay in the top 10. If it's Washington who loses, they're out of the top 10.
I could see that being true.
Because everybody always, every year, has it for Oregon for whatever reason.
Well, Washington is the one that makes it to the playoffs every other year, opposed to Oregon. You don't see Oregon getting into the playoffs.
No, that's because they haven't had a year like this yet.
The committee has a thing for freaking Pac-12, man.
I
don't understand it.
They always have to. But we're gonna go ahead and cut it there, and we're gonna go back to the SEC with Arkansas, Alabama. Big question is, what Alabama team do we get, Aaron?
I think we're going to get actually a good fucking offense because Milroe actually is playing football. He's playing really good quarterback play. The defense, it's getting there, kind of. The line, I don't know what an offensive line is, actually. But, I mean, that's whatever. I mean, Alabama offensive line, I don't know what the hell. Like, the boys probably like sniff crayon to get on the field and say, hey, we pep block. Oh, it's supposed to be run play. We run block. Oh, no, we mix it up. I don't know what the hell is going on, dude. A lot of crayons are being consumed on the damn offensive line.
Yeah.
But Milroe is showing up as a leader, and he is throwing the ball pretty damn well. Like I've said at the beginning of the year, when Milroe threw his first pick against Texas, he came back and threw a touchdown later. Milroe has the point to say, all right, that's a pick. I don't really care. I'm going to throw it down the field. I'm going to get a touchdown on the next few plays. I'm going to guarantee you that. Milroe's finally playing well. I think Nick Saban's finally fine with him playing and not going to start the retard from Notre Dame because Notre Dame sucks. And then the true freshman, he's just going to stare at Nick Saban and say, Dad, what do I run? That play? All right, line. Don't fuck me. Oh, you can't pass block. I've been sacked again. Milroe has the legs if need be, but he's going to play very well. Arkansas is going to probably give them a tough opponent, I would say. I don't really know.
I say the first half is going to be harder than the second half for Bama.
Arkansas is going to be but I mean, Alabama, I mean, they're poised to show up. They've played. They didn't play too good against A&M, but they played pretty good offense, and that's all you can really ask for at this point.
So let me ask you about this, being the Alabama analyst that you are. How has this season changed how not only people see Milroe as a player, but Milroe as a leader?
I mean, Milroe is stepping up. I mean, you've seen, like, there's been so many games where he's gotten killed because his line sucks, where he's just got absolutely, like, a huge hit, and he's already thrown it down the field for, like, a 50-yard gain. Milroe has shown up as all right, guys, we're going to suck on the line for a while. What the hell is wrong with y'all? But I'm going to stand here and throw some passes. Please don't let me get that hurt. He's just shown up and committed to the role of being like, hey, I'm the guy on offense. Our running game's pretty good too, but I'm going to stick in there and we're still going to be a passing team.
Because even whenever he got benched, you saw he was like one of the first ones out there to congratulate whenever they had that very rare touchdown during that little era.
It was almost like a Jalen Hurts all over again.
Yeah, Milroe is just he's last year when he came in, he didn't play the best. He definitely showed some very good moments. This year, he's just settling into being a leader. Hopefully, he'll stay another year and keep working on it. I think he'll be a great quarterback. He's a great guy, too.
Yeah.
Wish him the best.
So, we're going to end up taking this to the Big Ten now. Jordan, we got Iowa, Wisconsin in Wisconsin. Two teams that were starting out in the top 25 and who somehow worked their way out of it. What do you got for this one?
This one, Wisconsin is favored. I'm definitely feeling Wisconsin leading this one 4-1. I like how they could run the ball a little bit, and their QB Tanner, he's okay. I feel like he can be better. It's really their receivers that's been like more better than decent. I'm leading in Wisconsin for this one.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think Luke Fickell has that team kind of rolling a little bit more now, especially as his first year. And with, what was his name? He was the offensive coordinator at Carolina. Now he's at Wisconsin as well. And I think that offense is starting to kind of feel it, especially as this year kind of continues. And then going into next year, you'll kind of see more of the traditional Wisconsin that was winning games a lot. So I'm definitely there with you, and I agree. I think Wisconsin will probably win that game. Now we're going to take it back, and we're going to talk about the Jewel Shillelagh Trophy, the Notre Dame USC Trophy rivalry, dates back 50 plus years. The first original game was 13-12. That's when this rivalry began. When USC traveled to Notre Dame. Again, USC is traveling to Notre Dame, number 10 USC, 21 Notre Dame. So it's in South Bend. Game should be a great, fun game to watch. I don't know how much of a shootout it's going to be because USC has their first true defense that they'll be playing against this whole year. So that might be a little exciting to watch. I think Sam Hartman and Notre Dame could definitely throw up some big points on that USC defense, but it's kind of going to see how does Caleb Williams respond and can that Notre Dame defense make so many stops to give their offense a cushion, 14, 15-point cushion throughout the whole day. So that's my take on it. Now we're going to get into my favorite part of the day. We're going to call out 5 games that we all think that are kind of like, we could definitely go there. First game we're going to talk about, or not talk about, but first game we're going to decide on is we're going to talk about the Arkansas-Alabama game. Aaron, since you kind of gave us this one, I know you said Alabama, but who you got for it? Or what you got score-wise?
Alabama 35, Arkansas 14. I think Alabama is going to show up on offense. I mean, A&M was a tough defense, even though they're not a ranked team. They're not that good, which I'm still pissed about Alabama not even moving in the rankings, which is stupid. Yeah. I mean, if you win a game, you should at least move at least one up or something stupid like that instead of, all right, you won a game. You won against, not ranked at all, but you won against an opponent that has a very good defense.
Well, and that's where we go back with the whole Texas thing about not moving up and moving down to just the number 9 spot. So that kind of affects that.
Yeah, it's just silly. But Alabama's going to play some pretty good offense. Milroe is poised to have a good game. I mean, he started playing pretty well at A&M. Started playing better and better. The line just has to find a way to block somebody.
Yeah, that's the biggest
thing. It's
like
watching idiots playing in like a sandbox and someone took someone's fucking little like excavator. They're like, oh shit. Let's go find a teacher. We can't find a teacher. All right, I'm just going to start eating the sand that's colored a little brown. It's some funny flavored sand. Oh, wait, I'm eating shit. That's what the line is. I don't know what else to tell you. Clearly, it's someone shat in the fucking sandbox and they're sitting there with a scoop of this one tastes like corn. Oh, I'm eating shit. Yes, you are. Keep going, Timmy. Keep going.
So, Jordan, based off of that analysis, who do you got and by how? What's the score for that?
I definitely have Alabama. I think it might be a little closer. I think it's going to be 38-21.
Okay. Dylan, based off of the first analysis, what do you got?
So, Arkansas is due. I will say that looking at their schedule, they're coming off of 4 straight losses where they lost to BYU, LSU, Texas A&M, and Ole Miss. They've had a long road so far. I feel bad for the kids, but ESPN's got them 90% chance of winning. I agree. They're going to be in Bryant-Denny. I don't think they're really going to have that much of an issue. Yeah. I'm going to go Alabama 39, Arkansas 24.
So Alabama 39, Arkansas 24, you said?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, I think Arkansas is due. Do I think it's going to be against this Bama team? There's a small percentage chance. I think it's really all going to depend on how does KJ Jefferson play because he is literally that whole offensive scheme right there. He doesn't have a running game anymore, not like he did last year and the year before when they went like 4 or 5-0 before losing their first game. So I'm with you. I'm with all 3 of you guys there. I think you're going to see Alabama win it, but I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as you guys say, where it's like 38-20, 38-14, whatever. I think it's going to be closer down to like, it's going to be like 28, maybe 17.
Fun stat for him, by the way. He's thrown exactly 1,300 yards. Not a yard more, not a yard less. Exactly 1,300. Just zeros. What the hell?
That takes a lot of skill.
Now there's a lot of run around. Oh, he caught the ball. Atta boy. Let's go. First down.
So we're going to keep it in the SEC for this one. We're going to talk about the Texas A&M and Tennessee game. Dylan, what do you got what do you think is going to happen with this one?
So this one could also be a toss-up too, because
that's why I chose it.
Yeah, I was about to say that's actually going to be a closer game than you would think. Texas A&M's defense, they are for real. They have got a juggernaut on the defensive side.
It's the opposite side of the ball.
It's the opposite side of the ball that we're not sure of. I still like Max Johnson. Max Johnson, he's shown a lot of spunk going since he's got into the taking that starting role since Connor Wegman went down. But are they going to have the supporting cast to really be able to keep up with that Tennessee offense? I don't know if that Texas A&M front's going to be able to hold Joe Milton. The guy's a dog. I mean,
he learned from a great player, Hendon Hooker.
He's definitely been playing well this year. And they've got a running game as well, so they're very two-dimensional when it comes to that. But it's a tough one, man.
It looks like you want A&M.
I want A&M. Like I'm really wanting A&M for this. Screw it. I'm going to go Tennessee. I think it's going to be a 34-31 game.
34-31. Okay, I can see that. Jordan, what do you think?
I'm leaning towards the upset here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 28-21. Just because I feel like Texas A&M, like every year they always have some like crazy wins. So
usually it's against Bama, but yeah. Aaron, what about you? What are you thinking?
Dylan's a pussy. Jordan's right. I got the same score Jordan's got, 100%. But A&M is going to win because of they played Bama pretty damn well. They have a hell of a defense. Tennessee is Tennessee. They suck. Tennessee is going to not do what Tennessee does, and that's not going to win a game. Tennessee is, I don't know. Since after last year, Tennessee is just like, all right, boys, we're going to start running this horse off into the sunset, but we're going to find a few cliffs on the way. We're going to see what happens. And then they've fallen off the cliff. And they're just, it's rolling down constantly. You hear the horse screaming. You hear the guy going, oh, God, my leg. You're like, oh, let him keep going. Something might happen. And nothing's happening. The horse is starting to, bleed out. And so is Tennessee. A&M is going to win. They're going to play well.
See, the only thing I have about A&M is it's in Knoxville, so that crowd in Knoxville is hard to play against. I do think Texas A&M is due for a big upset. I just don't know if it's against this Tennessee team. That's my biggest thing. But overall, I mean, I think it's going to be a dogfight, to be honest. I really, honest to God, think it's going to be a dogfight.
Just say one thing.
Sure.
5 games, I feel like Texas A&M, they played like better opponents.
So far I think so too.
But Tennessee played UTSA. What do you mean? What do you mean?
I still think there's going to be an upset tomorrow. I do, or in 2 days. I believe it's going to be A&M 24-21. It's going to come down to a last-second field goal for the win. That's kind of what I've been leaning towards. But we're gonna
play UTSA. Playing George Bush's caddy.
That's so good. Best school ever.
So now we're gonna go to the big game in the Northwest. Number 8 Oregon versus number 7 Washington. Jordan, what do you think about this game? Who you got, and what do you think the score is going to be?
I'm taking Bo Nix in Oregon. 35-28.
Okay. Dylan, how about you?
I believe that Oregon is going to come in to Washington and they're going to take the dub here. We're going to go Oregon 42, Washington 30.
Okay. Aaron, how about you? You and your boy Bo Nix chilling it up down in Auburn.
I know. hate Bo Nix. He's absolute pile of shit. Just old man that's not going to do dick in the NFL besides be a lame duck and fall over. He'll probably play for the Browns. Him, Deshaun Watson will go to a magical little parlor and make some friends. that they shouldn't make friends with, then he's going to get a lot of money and then sit out as well. And they'll be sitting out doing it together on someone's yacht for no fucking reason. Oregon's going to win, sadly, because Washington sucks on defense. And that's going to be a big fucking factor with Bo Nix going, I can throw the ball down the fucking field. Because I've been playing college football since I was a wee fucking lad. And I've sucked at Auburn. I was good at Auburn. I sucked at Auburn. I was good at Auburn. Now I'm back again. I'm pretty good at fucking Oregon. It's fucking weird. Oregon's going to win 49 to fucking 35. It's going to be a shit show because I'm fucking not going to enjoy watching because I do not fucking like Bo Nix. He's a piece of shit. He's old, decrepit. He needs to fall off a cliff. He should ride on the fucking Tennessee horse off the cliff, dude, where it's fucking bleeding out. I swear to God. He'll find the Alabama line down there fucking chewing crayons, dude, and eating shit in the sandbox. That's what at the bottom of the damn cliff Tennessee's heading towards. That's it. God.
So
I'm crying, dude.
I can't keep a straight face right now. I think I'm with you guys. I think Oregon's going to win this game. I think it's going to be a freaking shootout. I think it's going to be like 49 to 38. I can't go out. I can't respond after that. Like, it's just,
You're
it
welcome.
is what it is.
I did my best. Yes. Yes, bitch. Yes.
So now we're going to drop it down. We're going to go back to the Southeast, and we're going to talk about the Miami UNC game. Dylan, who you got, and what do you think the score is?
Well, it depends if Miami decides to kneel or to run.
It just depends if the coach decides to call good plays.
You got to be 2 for 2, all right? Sounds better than 1 for 1, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
But remember this. UNC is 4-0 in the last 4 years against Miami.
I don't care about the last 4 years. I care about this year. And this year, Miami's got an offense. They can score. And UNC's defense still is a little suspect here. We don't know. We really don't, because they just every weekend you get a different defense.
Oh,
you don't.
That's like half the league anymore.
Well, yeah, it's all a football. It's horrible, but Miami has a defense. They have people that can stop the ball. So to me, defensive wise, is going to be the more important part of going into this ball game. As long as Miami decides to kneel the ball in the fourth quarter, they should pick up the win here. So I'm going to go with Miami to get the upset. We're going to go Miami 26 to UNC 21.
Okay, so close game.
Yep.
Jordan, what do you got? I think I know, but I'm not going to say.
I definitely have UNC.
Yep, I knew it.
I'm going to go 42 to 28.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yikes.
I'm just a bit, I don't know. I'm obviously biased, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're on the right direction a little bit on scoring wise. It might be like 7 points difference. The thing is, like with Van Dyke as the quarterback for Miami, he has that 3 years of experience. Drake May
losing 3 years to UNC.
True.
3 years of experience, man.
True. So yeah. So I just want to throw that out there. Aaron, what do you got?
I got UNC winning. I'm gonna go 49 to 14.
Wow.
I think UNC is gonna blow them the hell out because I'm pretty sure Miami's a little, they don't feel too well after kneeling the ball. Are they gonna turn around and play a good football game? I don't think I would be able to, dude. That fucking sandbox that Bama's linemen are eating it's fucking open for business. And Miami's, they're getting towards it. They're pretty close to it.
How big is a sandbox, dude?
Pretty fucking big, because the line's pretty fucking shit, dude. There's poop. Imagine a giant sandbox with fucking mines everywhere, right? And the Alabama Lions just stepping around. They step and poop like, oh, what could this sand be? It's more shit. Let's eat some of this. Moving on, boys. Next game, next bus. Let's travel. That's literally what's happening. And then Miami, they're pretty close to the sandbox, my guy. They may be like a few hurricanes away from it, but they're pretty close to the fucking sandbox. They're pretty fucking close.
I do think Miami has played the tougher opponents so far, but UNC, I mean, they beat A&M 48-33. UNC is due for a big competition. I think this game is going to be a shootout, but I think it's going to be super freaking close. I think you're going to end up seeing it. They have 57.5 points on this one for the over-under. I think they're too low on that. I think it's going to be closer to like 70, 80 points total-wise. I think Carolina might squeak it out just because it is in Keenan Memorial Stadium. That's going to help. That's going to make a little bit of a difference, especially with the defensive side of the ball with the issues that they have. So I'm going UNC 49-42. So I told you, pretty high-scoring game in my opinion. Now we're going to throw it to South Bend with USC and Notre Dame. Aaron, what do you think?
USC is going to win because Notre Dame is a fucking dumpster fire because Sam Hartman's about as old as a fucking Bo Nix piece of shit. So, I mean, Hartman, I'm pretty sure is going to still see flashbacks from the fucking Louisville game. My man had a bleeding ear in the first quarter. He was getting killed. Mm-hmm. Like, Louisville said, all right, you have a decent defense. What about your offense? Mm-hmm. Your line sucks. Have you met Bama's line? They eat shit in litter box over there. Why don't you go join them? They're pretty cool, right? There's a litter box right over there.
Well, Notre Dame they showed their cards by Louisville blitzing. In first quarter, they blitz. Yep, they can't handle the pressure. And you see as soon as Sam Hartman all them get rattled, it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
I got Notre Dame losing by 14. I don't actually have an exact number.
Okay, so I'll just say losing by 14.
And I'm losing by 2 touchdowns.
USC minus 14.
Yeah. Jordan, what about you? What do you got?
I'm definitely going USC. I don't think it's definitely going to be played out, but I think it's going to be pretty close. So I'm going to go 35-28.
Okay. Dylan, how about you?
I think USC's defense is about as useful as a broken condom, so I don't think anybody will think that Notre Dame can't score on this defense. I mean, Jesus Christ, USC looks horrible. They barely squeaked out against an Arizona team that is subpar at best. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, outside of Caleb Williams and Branch, I can't remember his first name. Outside of those two, you don't have a USC team. They're not good. So to me, I think Notre Dame is going to use this game as a stepping stone for their offense to get back on track to what you saw at the beginning of the season. Their defense is decent, but they're going to have a tough test going against this USC offense. But I still think Notre Dame's going to squeak this out. I'm going to go Notre Dame 37, USC 31.
Okay. I think earlier I kind of gave it away who I think is going to win, or kind of give like that feel. I think it's going to be Notre Dame for sure. I think it all comes down to the defensive side of the ball. I think, like you said, USC's defense is no better than a broken condom. They don't bend at all. They just literally break and rip and tear and everything like that.
They can be double wrapped and still ain't gonna work.
No, you could duct tape that thing.
You saw that Flex Seal, dog. It'll even solve that, dog. Not even Flex Seal can seal that. God damn.
I mean, in all honesty, you could duct tape that thing and it won't work still. So I have Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's defense is more of a bend, don't break, so they'll allow points, but they won't let them finish off in a lot of ways. And then the offensive side of the ball, like you said, it's only Caleb Williams and Branch. That's it. That's literally all they got. Their offensive line is crap. They can hold against Pac-12 defenses, but that's Pac-12 defenses.
They do things different over there on the Pacific.
Yeah, whereas like you got Notre Dame, who's been tested by Duke, who's been tested by Ohio State, who's been tested outside of the typical ACC,
They've had a tough schedule, and that's one thing you can say about Notre Dame.
This is the first year that it's been like that, I think, since like 1970 something or 1980 something, whatever it was.
Well, it's because they're playing in the ACC, and the ACC this year is no slouch.
But they're not in ACC school; they're a non-conference team.
Yeah, but they're playing an SEC schedule, ACC schedule.
For the most part, yes.
Pretty much the whole schedule is ACC now.
Yeah. So I think you'll end up seeing this game. I think it's going to be a 10-point difference, but I think it's going to be like 41. No, actually, I think it's going to be more like 45-35.
I could see that.
So I think it's going to be like that 10-point slogan area. But other than that, I don't think it'd be that big of a difference. I think it's going to be I think all those games we chose, there's a good chance that they could all be shootouts.
And I can see them all going the other way.
Exactly. Yeah, there's not one way that you can choose.
This is probably one of the harder weeks to make picks.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them they're very straight down the middle. Especially if you look on ESPN, CBS, you look at all their reports. You're not looking at any more than like a -2, -3 difference.
The only one that I would say, the only game that we chose is that one. Yeah, that's the only game. Other than that, it is close as can be.
And that also depends on what Arkansas team comes out.
Yeah,
you don't know.
I mean, Alabama team you get too.
The SEC right now, it's kind of up and down. Like
it's all open.
Yeah, I mean, you see Georgia doing what they're doing, but they still got a long road ahead of them. But outside of them, like if we're looking at just like number standpoint, outside of Georgia, literally everybody is kind of like 1 week they're great, and the next week they're and then the next week they're kind of going right back up and down. So it's kind of tough to even make these picks because we just don't know what teams are going to come out.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
But I do have a shout out before we end this.
Oh boy,
I want to talk about this.
Oh,
I don't know if y'all saw it. Pender High School. So, me and Risky we're going to be doing a pregame show tomorrow for the Pender Whiteville game. But the reason why we're doing it. Last week, they broke the North Carolina High School Athletic Association scoring record for the most points in one game. 106 points in one game. And total between Pender and Hopton, it was 106 to like 81.
So what you're telling me is there's no defense on either side of the ball.
What I'm telling you is there's peewee offenses that could score on these defenses.
Exactly.
And the funny thing is, let me give you another stat. Pender threw 2 passes the whole game. They ran for 920 yards.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
Bro. Hopton's quarterback. Go get it. Hopton's quarterback threw for like 400 and something yards, dude. It was ridiculous.
That's insane.
So
some of those kids are going somewhere now.
They're not even like in the top 10 ranks in North Carolina. I went and looked at it today, and there's none of them. Pender's like halfway down the ranking list.
Yeah,
they're like 1 and 2 so far this year in conference play, but they went and beat Hopton. And earlier this year, they played Camp Lejeune. They scored 88. It's freaking ridiculous, bro. But no, I had to give them a shout out for that.
Absolutely.
I mean, breaking a state record like that is absurd.
It's probably going to hold for a long time.
There's supposed to be something coming out on ESPN this week. I know they were there Monday or Tuesday. I think it was Monday because ESPN was there Monday and WECT was there on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So there might be something coming out on ESPN about them as well. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, that's just something that might not ever be broken again, possibly.
And I saw another thing too that happened last weekend. I've actually got it pulled up here. There was a quarterback in North Carolina, high school quarterback. He threw 13 passes and had 10 touchdown passes. He completed 13 passes and 10 of them were touchdowns.
Pretty good stat. Pretty good stat.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull up the name. All right, it's Javian Vines Holder out of Vance County. They scored 94 points this game, and he had 13.
That record that Pender set might not stand.
With the way it's looking, man, Vance County in Henderson, North Carolina, they beat Granville Central 94-18.
And Granville Central
There was
sucks, but I didn't think they
defense?
sucked that bad.
What?
Jeez.
That is so crazy. Vines Holder tossed 7 touchdown passes in the first half alone, and then 3 more in the second half.
And then he sat the rest of the game.
Yeah. That is so wild. I saw that this morning because I was kind of doing a little bit of research going to the show tomorrow.
Mhm.
But seeing that stuff, man, I'm like,
So you going to Wilmington tomorrow?
yeah, I'll be in Burgaw.
Yeah. Or Burgaw, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
But no, I had to give those shouts. Whenever you see stuff like that, like you have to talk about it.
Absolutely. It's once in a lifetime. Majority of the time, it's once in a lifetime.
Mm.
Definitely, for sure.
And especially high schools they're coming into our playoffs. I think at the end of this month, if I remember right, they should be going into playoffs next month.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something. It might be.
I know
or whatever.
the Pender Trask game I think is on the 27th, so that's the last game of the regular season at least.
Yeah. But Jordan, we do appreciate you coming on. We will have your records picked after Saturday, sometime between Sunday and Tuesday. Have them all set. But thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I think I'm gonna win.
You probably set the record. Wouldn't surprise me.
No one knows what's gonna happen.
But with that, thank you for joining us on the Midweek Breakdown, hosted by the Athlete Stable. Peace.
Later.